Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another edition of Cyclops Mailbox. Now I'm filming this one here in Georgia, getting ready for the Iraq Veteran 8888 Range Day that I'll have a video on pretty quick. But right now, what I like to do on this series is answer the questions that I get by email, Instagram, text, smoke signal, or in the comments on my videos. So let's not waste any more time. Let me kick this thing off and we'll start with the comments and I'll answer them the best that I can. All right, Duck Whacker asked me, why don't I feature more scopes that are made in the USA? Duck Whacker, the answer is actually really simple. There's so few scopes made here. Now Leupold assembles machines and designs their scopes here, but they use components from overseas also. US Optics does the same thing. Now I think a couple of the US Optics scopes are 100% made here and they have the lenses ground somewhere else. But regardless of what scope company it is, it's virtually impossible to buy anything that's optics related that's 100% made in the USA. It just doesn't happen anymore. It's like trying to buy a car that's 100% made in the USA. There's no such animal. All right, now David asked, why are most scopes Parallax set at 100 yards? And why aren't all of them set with a side focus or adjustable objective? Well, the main reason is on a lower power hunting scope, if you have the Parallax set at 100 yards, virtually at any distance, you're not going to have any appreciable parallax error. The reason that they don't do them on every scope is a lot of guys, including myself, when I'm hunting, that's just one more thing to screw with and one more thing to get knocked out of focus. On my hunting scopes, I just want something I can throw it up, look at what I'm shooting at, knock his ass in the dirt and roll. All right, Modern Air Gunner asked me, what do I think about long-range air rifle shooting? I think it's a freaking blast. I take mine and shoot every gun I have past where most people would call sane, but it's a lot of fun for me. When I catch a day like today, it's beautiful, just a slight breeze. I can go out and play and just see what is capable with any type of gun, any caliber, any velocity. That stuff's a blast to me. Now BR said, Joe, I really appreciate the fact that you make honest reviews. BR, it's not a big deal because I don't have any sponsors, so that makes it super easy. All right, now Rick asked me, what do I prefer when I'm shooting air rifles? Break barrel air rifles or PCPs? I like both for different things. I normally have a break barrel right by my back door and I have a short range in the backyard. I can just grab it, go sit outside, shoot, take my time, and I don't need a bunch of gear. Now, if I want to do some longer range precision shooting, it's hard to beat a PCP. As a matter of fact, in a lot of the NRL competitions, the 22s, the PCP rifles are beating 22 rimfires. If you think I'm joking, look it up. A Booty Monster said he was really looking forward to my $100 scope video. Booty Monster, I just launched it this week. Look back through my videos and you'll find it. Spoiler alert, it's the Hawk Vantage 2-7. All right, now Magnus said what he thinks would be a great idea, and I agree, would be to have some blind scope testing videos where I take a bunch of scopes, lay like blankets or something across them where you can't see the brand, and have individuals come up and look through them and see what their honest opinion is. That'd be easy to do, but the fact is I don't have very many scopes on hand at any given time. When I get through reviewing the scopes and I sell them, that's how I keep my channel going. So normally I have just the scopes at home that I'm in the process of testing or the scopes at home that I'm getting ready to test. Travis told me you need to do more tall target test videos on tracking at 100 yards to make sure that these scopes are that precise. I use what I have available. On the backstops that we have at our local range, there's no place for me to put up a piece of plywood and be able to keep it down there. Now I would love to be able to, and if I ever get access to a range that has taller backstops, I'll do that. But until then, I'm pretty much stuck with what I've been doing. And I enjoy it, and I think it's really useful. You just have to work with what you got. KS Airguns left a comment and said, I haven't heard very many midget references lately. Well, I've got a scope coming up that is definitely a midget scope, and I plan on loading that baby up with dwarf comments. Now, Stefan says in all your videos, it seems like you're drinking a beer. You need a beer sponsor. So if anybody out there from Adolf Coors is watching, man, give me a holler. I'd love to have a beer sponsor. That'd save me a lot of money. Now, Peter left a great comment. Guys look at a scope and say it's a 1-inch, 30 millimeter, or 34 millimeter tube. Now, they think the larger the diameter, the more light comes through. That's not the case at all. The larger the objective, the larger the exit pupil will be on any given magnification. But the amount of light that's available that comes through the scope, the size of the tube has nothing to do with it. The size of the external tube, normally the benefit of that is you get more elevation so you can shoot longer distances and still be able to use your center crosshair. And the only other advantage that I know of is if the tube is the same thickness, it's a little stiffer on the larger diameter scopes. But the amount of light that comes through it has nothing to do with the diameter of the tube. Great comment, Peter. Thanks, man. Now, Ernie asked in his comment, when I do these scope videos, if I'll say whether or not it's rated for a Springer. Ernie, unless you hear me say it, it's not. There's just not very many scopes out there that are truly rated for Springers. And over the last just 2 to 3 years, a lot of scopes that the companies used to say, oh yeah, it's great for Springers, don't worry about it. Now, if you get in touch with them ahead of time, they'll tell you this thing's not recommended for a Springer. A couple of these companies that come to mind are Burris, Leupold, Vortex, and even Hawk, that built their reputation on air guns. Their Vantage line is not recommended for Springers. So more and more scope companies are kind of trying to avoid the air gun market because the Springers tear up scopes so bad. They just don't want to keep eating these scopes. That's the reason they just don't market them as air gun scopes anymore. Now, there's some good scopes out there that we use that aren't marketed as air gun scopes that we've had great luck with. The Bushnell AR series is probably the toughest scope I've ever had on this Springer. We've never had one fail. But if you'll look around, you won't see that it's Springer rated, but they're just indestructible, and that's what we usually use on our brake barrels. Okay, Will left a couple of comments dealing with Vortex. The one that really jumped out at me was when he goes to his local gun dealer, they always tell him, we don't have any returns on Vortex. We don't know what you're talking about. There's a reason, because the scopes go back to Vortex. You don't go to the dealer for a return with Vortex. You deal directly with the factory when and if there's a problem. So if guys go into a gun shop and they're really pushing Vortex saying we never personally get one back, they're not lying. They don't personally get them, but call the factory, look around online and see how many of those are coming back. Now, I'm not bashing Vortex. I'm not a Vortex hater, but there's very few Vortex scopes that I believe in. Now, Ruben asked, are you going to do any videos on some of the fake Leopolds and fake Zeisses and stuff like you'll find on AliExpress, sometimes on Amazon, or just find them in these kind of obscure websites? No, I'm not going to do those, man. I've seen those in person and they absolutely suck. Now, Little M said, what are some of the other scope companies that you don't care for other than Vortex? All right, let me see if I can name them off. Aeon, Osprey, BSA, Leaper / UTG. I'm not a gigantic fan of Steiners. Some of them I like, but I've seen a couple of Steiners there were a couple of problems with. I wouldn't spend my money on a Steiner. That's just me personally. Guys ask me to keep it honest. This is me being honest. For what Steiners cost, no way, man. You can buy a VALDADA, you can buy a Delta, you can buy Swarovski costs, you can buy better scopes than for what a Steiner costs. Like I say, this is just one guy's opinion, but this is a guy that tests a shitload of scopes. There's a reason you don't see very many Steiner reviews in my video catalog, because I'm just not interested in doing them. Night Force is another I've had a few issues with. Never been the mechanics, not the mechanics part, but the optics. For some of the Night Force, now I'm not talking about the absolute most expensive Night Force, but the more affordable Night Forces, the ones that I've had, I didn't think the glass was even average for their price range. Jimmy said, you should quit posting on YouTube because they keep taking your videos down, put them on Rumble. Jimmy, that's really cool. I mean, that's a great idea, but the last time I looked at a video on Rumble, that video might have 100 views on Rumble, it might have 50,000 views on YouTube. The simple truth is, YouTube's kind of got a monopoly on the video thing, so if you're gonna make videos like this and they're not gonna be on YouTube, or somebody's not paying you, which me, I don't get paid, the only way I get any exposure is to be on YouTube. So I'm kind of stuck with their rules. I don't like them. Sometimes I think they suck, and anything that has to do with guns, they're real anti-Second Amendment, but it's their playground, man, so I gotta play by their rules. All right, SD asks, on my variable power scopes, do I zero it on the low end, the high end, or somewhere in between? Normally, I'll run it up to the highest magnification and back it off just a little bit. On almost every scope, at the very limit of the magnification, the visual goes down a little bit, the quality goes down. So I'll run it up to the stop and then I'll back it off a little bit. You'll see it sharpen back up, and that's where I usually zero it. But no matter what magnification it is, once it's zeroed, you shouldn't have to worry about it shifting when you turn the magnification up and down, unless it's one of these $30 Amazon scopes, then all bets are off. All right, this is the last one, then I'm gonna wrap this up. I had multiple guys, probably at least 20, reach out to me and let me know that there was a YouTube channel out there and this channel was using some of my footage in their videos. This is something, in one way I'm a little flattered, in the other way I'm a little perturbed, because there's channels out there that just use canned footage. It'll be the best beer cans, the best tire irons, the best this, the best that. When you say the best on something, it catches traction on YouTube. So what a lot of guys do is they'll take this canned footage, edit it themselves, add their own little overlays, and I've done the same with different companies. The difference is, when I reach out to these companies to make sure it's okay, I wait for them to either verify that it's okay or to tell me that they would rather me not use their footage. Either way, I'm fine with it. But I don't use another channel's footage or images unless I reach out and get an okay from them. That didn't happen in this case, so I reached out to the YouTuber. He told me he was sorry. He took the video down. I don't know if he's going to re-edit and put it back up. I'm not going to say the name of the channel. This is happening more and more on YouTube. A lot of the best of lists that you'll see, it'll have like computer generated voices, and it's just 3 or 5 of anything. They just take some footage and make a video just so they can get some views and generate the money from the ads. Me personally, on my videos, normally I'll have anywhere between about 15 to 40 hours in a video when it's a scope review. Some go really fast, some take a lot of work. The ones where I'm doing the nipple twister and the other longer tests, a lot of times that footage is shot over a span of several days because I couldn't catch the light right to get the whole test done. And I normally try to film more than one scope when I go to the range. With the editing, the talking head parts of it here, adding the effects, the text, the transitions, and everything that goes into it, a lot of time goes in my videos. So I personally feel like it's kind of my intellectual property, I guess you would say. So I don't like it when somebody does it, and when they do, I will reach out to them. I don't immediately flag it because I'm not trying to get anybody kicked off YouTube. But it's something that's happening more and more. I guess as my channel's growing, I'm seeing this more and more. And maybe once every 3 or 4 weeks, somebody will reach out to me and let me know, hey man, I just saw your footage on this other channel on the video. Now, every time so far, they've taken it down. But it does happen more. And if you guys see one of my videos on somebody else's channel or another YouTuber that you watch and you like, you see their videos on a total stranger's channel, reach out to them, let them know this is happening. Guys are basically just screen recording or downloading what you just did, putting it up as their own video, and they're making money off of it, and they didn't do anything. Now, this has happened to me one other time really extremely. A guy started a channel called Cyclops Videos Scope Reviews. Now, that sounds like that would be my damn channel, and the videos that were on there were my videos. Now, this guy had up about 15 or 20 of my videos. When I heard about it, I reached out to him. He wouldn't email me back, so I gave it a day or two, reached out to him again, and he emailed me back and said he can do anything he wants on YouTube. So it got a little ugly. Anyway, I reached out to YouTube and they took his channel down. It could happen at any time. It could happen to any YouTuber, and I guess it's just part of the game. But I do appreciate the guys that make me aware of that when it happened. And a lot of these channels, some of the really big channels that have more influence on the platform, when these guys are copying their channels, and they are, or some of these advertisers, they're using their logos, their text, their graphics without reaching out, and they are, they're going to get shut down. It's nothing I have to worry about. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll have another one of these videos coming up soon, and make sure and check out my IREC veteran video. This is going to be a good one. See you guys.